I saw the concert the other night, and it's absolutely awesome. I mean, we've seen the DVD, which is sensational in itself, but you just don't see it until you see it in concert, you know? And there is so much to take in.
Right.
And I heard you quoted once where you said, you know, you're surprised people keep coming back to the same show. Well, I think they have to, because you just can't take it all in one go, you know? The costumes, the dancers, your costumes, the song after the song, it's just amazing, you know?
Well, you know, I've never seen the video, but I remember when, because Dory and I, the director, my girlfriend Dory, she and I have done the last couple of shows, and so we worked on the set. We had seen it in a Gaudi book, and we worked on it with Jeremy, and I remember coming into Toronto, into the theater that we were going to rehearse in, and I remember coming around this corner, and I saw it for the first time, and just the set. I mean, because I've never actually seen the show,
right,
but just the set and watching the dancers, you know, watching the dancers run through the, you know, rehearsals, that was pretty spectacular for me. You know, when you're up there, you just don't, you can't imagine what it looks like. You know, you can't get the feeling, but I have a monitor in my room, you know, my quick change, so a lot of times if I have time, I'll look at what the dancers are doing, and it looks pretty great. I mean, like, I always watch Drea and Jamal, you know, they go up in the silks and fall.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's
right.
like Circus Delay.
No, it's, I mean, I never get tired of watching that.
The fabric is thin, you know, so all you're doing is, it's like squeezing your shirt or something, and that's what you're holding on to with your body weight. It's really intense. You get really strong because you have to. Yes. That's a girl aerialist arm.
It's more on your waist.
Right. But if you wrap wrong at the beginning, you're just out of there. You're just like, splat.
I can't believe, you know, watching the other night that this can be the last time, you know?
You know what? It's just got to be. It's just like sometimes you do things, I've been doing this now 40 years, and I won't get better. You know, it'll be the law of diminishing returns, so, excuse me, so that's why it has to be over. Not that I'm gonna want to give it up, it's just that it's the time.
It's an outfit without a whip.
Okay, I was asking some of the crew today, when I was over there checking out your wigs and all that, did they think, how long did you think, I said to them, this tour would go for, you know? And they more or less did the same thing. They laughed, you know? I mean, you could not have...
59 shows we were supposed to do.
That's right, you know. In fact, I was told, oh, we thought we'd finish around about January, you know, of 2003, you know. And it's now about to hit January 2005, February, when you come down to Australia.
Right.
I mean, I mean, you've broken every record now.
Yeah.
You've won Emmys because of it, because of the DVD, of the concerts. That's something to be proud of.
No, it's great. And so, I mean, like, sometimes when I'm feeling like I cannot do this again, I'm so tired today, you know, how can we be on 270, what is tonight, or
77
tonight is 77, 277. So, I mean, I don't know how, it just kind of started, and then it just kind of got rolling. And of course, Roger would have me work on Mars if they had an arena there, you know? So, so Roger keeps saying, oh, let's go here, let's go there, do you want to go here? And of course, I've gotten, like, I wanted to go to Moscow.
Well, you went to Moscow.
Yeah, never been to Moscow. And so there are places that I thought, oh, I'd really love to go on this tour. And we weren't going to play Europe, and then we played Europe, and that was really fun. You know, because if I'm never going to do this again, because it's going to be hard for me to give this up. It's not like I'm giving it up because I want to.
Wrangle up, wrangle up!
It's going to be like saying goodbye to a lot of your family.
Yep. Well, those are the things you don't think about until, you know, like last night, for some reason, the girls were talking about something, about goodbyes, about what it was going to feel like, and we all just looked at each other and we went, well, that's ridiculous, let's not talk about that.
And what do we
Ladies and gentlemen, Sonny and Cher.
In the concert, we look back and see a lot of the Sonny and Cher stuff, and I mean, it must have been a great time. You know?
It was. Also, there's great Sonny and Cher, the show. I'm not sure if it was shown in Australia, but the Sonny and Cher show was unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that was really a fun part. So we had these two different, distinct careers.
Yeah. Now, with that, I mean, we see, looking at old footage of that, and you see Michael Jackson pop up, you know, doing of all things Ben. Ronald Reagan, I believe, popped up at one stage. You know?
Right. We played with everybody. I mean, everybody was on the Sonny and Cher show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to present our very special guest,
Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5.
Ho! Gosh, Michael, you sure have accomplished a lot for someone so young. Listen, what are you going to be when you grow up, anyway?
I can't make up my mind whether to be a jet pilot, an astronaut, or the governor of Georgia.
With those days with Sonny and Cher, it became one of the legends of the 60s, you know, without a doubt, you know. What are your favourite songs back then?
Oh, I guess the first ones, like Laugh at Me.
It was Caesar before
Right,
Sonny.
it was, right, it was Caesar and Cleo, but
Cleo.
that we didn't do anything with that. And Baby Don't Go and I Got You, Babe. I mean, just the early ones, you know, those are the ones that like popped to my mind, because also that was right before we went to England, and we couldn't really quite make it in America. They just weren't ready for us. They just were scared of us. And when we went to England, everybody loved us, and we were welcomed with open arms.
Well, I Got You, Babe became, again, one of the classic tracks of the 60s going into the 70s.
But it didn't happen in America. It happened when we went there. I mean,
in Australia.
Right, but when we went to England, it was such a different thing, because adults were listening to rock and roll music. They were loving it, you know. So, you know, people walking down the street, they'd ask us for our autographs, but they'd be grown-ups as well.
Right.
So we weren't hits till we came back to America, because when we came back to America, everyone thought we were English.
Goes on, I got you.
Now, one thing back then, and you show it on stage, you've got a wonderful sense of humour, a great tongue-in-cheek sense. Did that really come to fore when you were doing Sonny and Cher? Is that where you learnt that craft?
Actually, I was very much like that when I met Sonny. He called it my smart mouth.
Oh, right.
But so it was really kind of my real personality. But what happened was when the Sonny and Cher first years went down the toilet, and we were playing these really bad nightclubs, and it was really awful, and the people didn't like us. And usually for the second show, like 3 drunks and a hooker would show up, and there'd be nobody there. So we'd start doing jokes for the band. And that's where we started talking.
To my mates and my girlfriend.
Right, okay, yeah. So we started doing that. We started talking back and forth, and the band would become hysterical, and that's how we started doing it.
All right, listen, before I put any money in, I just want to let you know I wouldn't be doing this if you hadn't been so right in the past. I don't throw money away, you know. Lay it on me.
Beware, you're about to be attacked, strangled, and robbed. But not by him.
there are few living legends, but she's a living legend. And the more I work with her, the more that I do this show, the more I realize how legendary she is.
With your career, I mean, like, in film, it's been astonishing, you know? Tell us about that. I mean, like, you've done many films, but there have been some absolute major ones. With Silkwood, for instance, when they said Meryl Streep and Cher, and everyone went,
well, yeah.
what?
Actually, first of all, I was doing a play that in New York called Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, Dean. And they were having a hard time casting my character. So someone said, you should go see Cher. And so he came back and said, you know, do you want to do this movie with Meryl Streep? And I went, well, yeah. And he said, do you want to know anything about it? And I went, well, no. But then when the trailer came out, my sister and I and some friends, we ran to see the trailer. It was in Plain and Westwood at a big theater there. And we ran in without even thinking anything, just, oh my God, they're going to play the trailer. So Meryl's name came up and Curdy's name came up and then my name came up and everyone started laughing. And it was really, I was just heartbroken, you know? And I called Mike and he said, you know what, they won't laugh when they see the movie.
Well, they didn't.
No.
The Witches of Eastwick, which must have been absolute fun.
Well, it was
Jack
really
Nicholson.
horrible.
Jack Nicholson and you together would be...
No, he was great. Because I'd known him for years and years and years. Yeah. You know, I didn't know Michelle, I didn't know Sue, but it was great. I did the movie really because of him. I wanted to work with him so badly, and then Michelle and Sue were just extra bonuses. The
Academy Award, tell us about that.
Well, what do you want, which part of it do you want to know about?
Well, the movie was fantastic.
Yep.
To sit in we see this during the concert, the footage
But also,
of this.
I have to tell you something. MGM didn't like the movie, and when they put it out, they just put it out in a couple of theaters thinking it would just go away.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You get, because you've been nominated before, right?
Right, for Silkwood.
For Silkwood, yeah.
Right.
Coming to this nomination, did you think you even had a chance?
Well,
be honest.
First, I was really nervous about getting the nomination because the truth is, in Mask, the people in Las Vegas had me winning, and then I didn't get nominated. So at that point, you know, everyone said you're a shoo-in for nomination for Mask, and then nothing. So in Moonstruck, yeah, I wasn't even counted on being nominated because I just didn't want to go through that I went through before because it really was hard on me.
The feeling the feeling when you heard, and the winner is for Best Actress, Cher.
All right, but it wasn't exactly like that because it was really strange because your body senses start to kind of go into a really strange, they kind of leave you, you know what I mean? And I remember hearing Paul Newman talking about, the nominee for this, and they go to the clip, and the nominee for this, they go for the clip, and then the winner is, and I remember he opened up the thing, took out the card, and he took a deep breath. And I thought, well, it's over. I didn't win because you don't need to take a deep breath to say Cher. So in my mind, it was over, you know. And then when he said it, my boyfriend jumped up, and then I jumped up, and I thought, oh, I won, you know. And then walking down the aisle, one of my earrings fell off. I remember I said, oh shit, and then I thought, oh my God, is that on? You know, weird things go through your mind. Yeah. But it was great. And the greatest thing afterwards, the first person I met was Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she said, I'm so glad you won. And I just thought, oh my God, winning the Academy Award and meeting Audrey Hepburn. Because I'd met Katharine Hepburn before.
Right. So if we turn back time, let's take that one. And the video, the outrageous video, you know?
Actually, I didn't want to record it. I didn't want to record Turn Back Time because Diane Warren, who's a great writer, but she does the demos and she has a terrible voice. And so I said, Diane, I just don't like it. And she's really cheap too. So she said, okay, this is how much I believe in this song. I'll produce it, and if you don't like it, I'll eat the cost. And I said, okay, great. And I knew from the first moment that I opened my mouth and the song started to come out, I thought, I was so wrong, I am so stupid. But I said the same thing to Sonny about I Got You, Babe.
It's again sort of lifted and brought in a whole new audience for Cher, you know?
Right, well, because I also hadn't, it's really strange. When I started acting, of course I wasn't an actress, but then I was acting for a long time, and it was about 8 years since I'd put out an album. So when I did that album, there were a lot of people, young people, that didn't know I was a singer.
Believe, I mean, is another amazing
Well, that was
song.
just a resurrection. I mean, I couldn't have, I was as dead as a doornail in records, you know, and Rob said, you know, I want you to do a disco album. I want you to do a dance album. And I went, you know, over my dead body. Because there was a number of reasons, but the main one was I thought, what are people going to think? You know, all of a sudden, I'm a dance artist, you know. That's like, okay, and then I'll be a country and western artist, and then I'll be, you know, an opera singer. So I thought people are going to just look at me and think, this is so transparent and it's not real and all that. So Rob said, why don't you just let me send you a couple of songs, and if you like them. So he started sending me these songs. You know, the first one I think was Dove. And I really started to like them. And then Believe was difficult because about 50 people tried writing their, you know, using their little talents, because it wasn't the song that it turned out to be. You know, it was a completely different song, but there was a part of it. The chorus always was the same, you know, the same, and that was the genius part of the song.
We have 22 cameras, 22 tape machines. There's some more in the other room. Trusty spare in case somebody goes down.
We've got wigs to take care of. We have hats to take care of. We've got shoes and boots. There are 8 dancers. They each have 7 changes of clothes, you know, head to toe. So it's a lot of stuff that we have to deal with. And then there are, you know, a few band members, and then they all have clothes too that we have to take care of.
Material's much better.
Rose?
Hi.
Now, I'm in the inner sanctum of where all the wigs are, right, Rose?
You are. Hi,
You're
nice
the
to
one that
meet
looks
you.
after all?
No, Morgan actually styles them.
Right.
I look after all the costumes.
Wow. All right, now, these are the wigs.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
Well,
They're absolutely sensational.
aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah.
Renata designed them.
Right.
She made them, and then Serena made the individual styles, and Morgan maintains them every single day.
Maintains them every day.
Yes, there's 3 people involved in these wigs.
Oh my God, in the wigs alone. Now this is the opening dress, is it?
This is the opening coat, yes.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
It's, let's take it down. Yeah, it's
Oh.
a little bit heavy.
My God.
And
Look at the inside.
I know. It's the
never
saddest thing
seen
about this is that nobody gets to see that beautiful inside of it. But the most fabulous part about it is the headpiece.
Except Cher's body, and
Well-
Cher's body is brilliant.
Unbelievable.
How'd she do it?
She works hard every day.
Should do the same thing. Now this one here
Yeah.
is a sensational wig, and this number where this wig is a blowout, isn't it? Oh.
This is called Bang Bang, and I've nicknamed it the Bird.
The bird.
For obvious reasons.
Right.
And it's just amazing. And maybe, you know, someday Cher will let you try it on.
Wouldn't mind, actually. Frighten the hell out of
great.
everyone else, I can tell you right now. All right, now over here are the costumes throughout the show.
Right. Bob Mackie did an amazing, stunning job. I mean, I think, honestly, one is just more spectacular and more stunning than the next.
Actually, I mean, the thing that really blew me away with the show, or one part, is that these costume changes happen so quickly. Now, how does that all work, you know?
Well, there's actually 4 of us in the quick change booth.
Right.
One person doing the wig changes because they go with every outfit.
Right.
And then there are 3 of us to actually change them because they're so fast that one person couldn't possibly do it all. You know, we couldn't. They're just so fast. It's not humanly possible.
Now, was it my imagination, or does her makeup sometimes change? Does she change
She actually does that herself.
during the show?
Yeah, she puts lipstick, puts a little. Yeah, she does all the makeup herself.
Unbelievable. So it's hard yakka. Did you ever believe that you'd be on the road for so long?
No, she told me this was going to be a 3-month tour.
And how long now?
We're going into almost 3 years. We're very close to it.
Okay, looking forward to coming down to Australia?
Yes, I am. It'll be fun.
Okay, I tell you what, these wigs will go over a storm in Australia.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely.
This is a really everybody loves this one because it's very biker-like. Very.
Actually, I don't mind that one. In fact, once Cher's finished with this one, maybe she can give this to me for Mardi Gras.
You know, you should ask her. I mean, but you're going to have to shrink down to that.
You're right. Wouldn't work. All right, thanks for letting us in here.
Oh, you're welcome. Did you want to see anything else?
Yeah, what else have you got here?
Well, we've got.
Oh, this one I love, the red. Now that goes with the red wig, right?
That goes with the red headpiece, yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's me.
That's definitely you?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Sparkles and spangles, it's just you.
Knock 'em dead at the Mardi Gras.
Stunning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I bet this vest would be really kind of fun. I bet you would look really hot in this. I bet this purple number is just really you.
Oh, I don't know if that's me, but I do know a friend.
But look how good it looks with your
gorgeous
skin.
Look at that. All right.
Maybe you might want to see this, which is
oh yeah,
the ringmaster.
That's
red.
the ringmaster.
You know, you like the red.
Where's the whip?
The whip.
My God, there's the whip.
There, that's
Whoa.
you.
I'll tell you right now. No, I won't even think about it. All right, listen, we'll see you on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right? And well
Have
done.
a good time, and we'll see you down in Australia.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
I snuck into your room today. I mean, the changes, it's not, I mean, there's full-on changes, and the makeup seems to change and everything. How do you do that? I mean, you must have Olympians down there, you know?
Well, we've got...
Or being in sort of some car thing with the tyres.
It is like that. There's 5 of us, and we've all got our job, you know, and we all do it, and it's like very, I mean, it just goes like that. It does go like a tire change. But in the beginning, it's very rocky. You know, we're just sometimes missing a cue, and now we've got it down like, you know, it's just that.
You were saying, I read in one article where you were saying about Celine Dion, that she is one of the greatest singers, you know? And I know Celine, she's a friend, but she gets very worried about her voice, and she rests her voice and won't do interviews and won't even, like, she has staggered nights, you know? And yet you sing, you know, bang, I mean, and it's full on, you know, like every second night or whatever it is, you know? And yet your voice is as good as it ever was, if not better.
Well, some nights I have problems. I mean, mostly not singing nights, but like when the winter comes, it's very dry. Sometimes I have to like rest, not talk so much in a day. But usually, I mean, unless I'm sick, I go out there and it pretty much just comes out.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough, I have a strong voice though. Every time I see my doctor, he always goes, God, those are great vocal cords.
For Cher, nothing is too outrageous, you know, and I think the more outrageous that you can be with her, it's fun. It's fun for her, it's fun for the audience. So we wanted to bring everyone into her magical world.
Have you found everything you've been looking for, or is there still things?
No, that's why I sing that first song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What other things are you looking for?
Don't know.
Yeah?
Don't know. I mean, that's why you, as an artist, you always are searching, you know? I mean, if I was a painter, I guess I would just want to do that one last painting, and then the one last painting after that, you know, because I don't know that you're ever done. Sometimes people are done with you, but I don't know if artists are ever done.
What advice would you give to a young singer? Maybe the first bit, don't lip sync, but apart from that.
But you know what?
That's what
kids, that's what girls do. I mean, I don't know if guys do it too, because I mean, but that's what kids do. I mean, sometimes, like, if I have a song where I've doubled my voice a whole bunch of times on the record, I'll have, you know, one track that's got me underneath, so it sounds like the record, you know? But I sing, and I've been singing, like I was talking about me and Tina.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 40 years where there was no such thing as lip syncing at that point. You know, people, at concert, you just sang. But, you know, also I think sometimes people do it because the dance routines are much more, you know, intense now, and everyone's choreographed.
Sure.
So, you know, I mean, I make a joke of it on the stage, but the truth is, I'd cut them slack because that's just the way the business is now. The business has changed.
You are totally a workaholic, you know, and it must be so because you did a bloody movie in between all of this last year. I mean, that must have been grueling, doing a movie, doing the show, doing a movie.
It was, but you know, it was something that I read the script and I just thought, oh gosh, this would be so fun. And usually that's how I get myself into everything. I hear it or someone tells it or I listen to it and I go, oh, that would be so much fun. And then it's time to do it and you go, oh my God, this is work. You know, in your mind's eye, it's like, oh, fun. And then when you get down to it, it's work. But I don't find myself, you know, it's really weird. I'm a lazy person that works a lot.
How do you get that?
That's just the way I see myself.
Right.
I'm not,
Well,
it's so
doing
weird,
it,
I am not
But you're going to do another movie.
No, but I'm not driven to, it's like I never plan my career, I never plan anything. I don't feel like I'm driven. I would have stopped this show a long time ago, but there's some things that have happened on this show, letters that I've gotten from people, strange things that have happened on this show that have kept me going more than anything else, because I didn't really need to do it, you know?
Now, the fabulous thing with you, and everyone loves you for it, I mean, you look absolutely stunning, and you even make jokes about it on stage, about the ribs in the back or the tits on the back.
Right.
Did it ever hurt you?
Well, you know, it's the weirdest thing. There was a German magazine, and it had this, I mean, a long time ago, it had this center page of me, and it just had me in a pose, and then all these arrows to different things, like my ribs taken out and my calves different, and blah, 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 blah. So we thought it was hysterical, and then it traveled across Europe, and then by the time they picked it up in America, they printed it, and it was like it was true. So what I'd been laughing about in Germany, I got to be like a nightmare when I got home.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It is wonderful seeing you on stage, right? Now, as I said, I snuck in and looked at your wigs, and I was tempted to pinch one, didn't.
Right.
And
I bet I know the one.
I bet you do too. If I could turn back time, the performance on stage, suddenly hats come from a sailor's hat, you know, and then you put one on, right? Okay, now, I read somewhere where you may, when you retire, go to a ranch or down in Montana or something like that, right? Okay,
Herd cattle.
Well, you can't wear the wigs down there.
No.
All right. And a sailor hat would look silly down there.
Right.
But I'd like you to have one of my hats as a present because I think that won't scare the cows, all right?
Okay. Thanks a lot. Probably won't fit over my wig. How does it look?
Oh, it looks sensational. It looks great.
Thanks.
And we can't wait for you to come down.
All right, well, I'll be there.
All right.